Coach, it's Thanksgiving weekend here in Fort Worth, Texas. We've got a skydiver here. It's senior day as well. Quarterback Kenny Hill comes out with a rose. The Tejada brothers also on the field as the Baylor Bears get set to take on number 12 TCU. And as Rob just mentioned, a trip to the Big 12 Championship is on the line for the Horned Frogs. A win here today, and they move on to take on Oklahoma next Saturday in the Big 12 Championship. And hello there, everybody. Happy Thanksgiving weekend. Happy Black Friday. Hope you got your shopping in. I'm Justin Kutcher alongside the coach, Mark Helfrich. And coach, let's do something we don't often do here in the Big 12 Conference. Let's talk defense, because this TCU team has one of the best defenses in the country.
No question, this program is built on defense. Gary Patterson, arguably the best defensive coach in America. The statue outside the stadium is proof of that. 15.1 points per game so far this year. They are looking today, they're going up against a true freshman quarterback. Gary Patterson confuses, collapses, gets after veteran quarterbacks. I know he's hungry to get after this guy today. A true freshman in Charlie Brewer.
Look at what this TCU team has done against their opponents this year, holding each of their opponents under their season average. Remarkable numbers. Now, you mentioned this for Baylor. They'll be facing a true freshman quarterback. The third quarterback of the season for the Bears. This time it's Charlie Brewer.
Yeah, Charlie Brewer's done a nice job here over the last month. He's really got kind of just settled into it. He won a state championship less than a year ago in Jerry's World, just up the road. Over the last month, he's passed for 930 yards, 7 touchdowns, and only 2 picks. And he's really given him an element in the run game. He's helped out. These guys have been decimated with injury at wideout, and he's done a nice job.
His numbers as a starter, truly impressive for a true freshman. He was a high school legend here in the state of Texas. Baylor and TCU, the Revivalry. TCU leads the all-time series by just 1. The first meeting took place back in 1899. It was a high-scoring affair, 0-0 tie. How about this? They played 24 times between 1901 and 1910. In the last 6 games, each team has come away with 3 victories. Gary Patterson, 6-3 against Baylor. 17th season as a TCU head coach. Matt Rule in his first year as the head coach for the Baylor Bears. 1-10 so far this year. But his team has been in just about every game. His team won the toss. They have deferred, so TCU will receive. The last 2 meetings here in Fort Worth, quite a different story as far as weather. Back on November 27, 2015, it was 38 degrees in a driving rainstorm. Number 7 Baylor. They were tied for the Big 12 lead. TCU won in double OT. Today, it's beautiful. It's 65 degrees, sunny skies, and now the Big 12 championship game is at stake for TCU. Jay Sedgwick will kick off. Cavante Turpin is back deep for TCU. And we are underway here at the Carter. And it's Turpin from the 1. Turpin has the hole, and Turpin gets across the 25. There is a flag down as he is up to the 29-yard line. And so now with TCU with the ball, coach, what are we watching for?
Well, our man Hicks only had 5 touchdowns last year against these guys, so I'm saying ground and pound with Kyle Hicks. Get Kenny Hill comfortable on senior day, but pound it with Kyle Hicks. He's been a little bit banged up, but he's fresh and healthy coming in this week. You flip it over to the other side, Baylor needs to find some answers. They're going to be without their best player, their leader, their emotional guy, Taylor Young. He's their leader vocally, he's their leader emotionally. He was their captain today. That's how much I think of this guy.
Suffered a season-ending injury against Iowa State on first down. The pass is complete to the far side to Jalen Rager. And Rager gets back to the line of scrimmage. Tackled by Jalen Petrie. You mentioned no Taylor Young. Really, this Baylor team is going with maybe 4 linebackers.
It's amazing, you know. Coach Rule, I was talking with him before the game, and they had a couple more scratches. We'll verify that when they're out on offense. They've just been decimated all year, and as you said earlier, they've been in every game. They're still competing, and it's been rough sledding all year long.
On 2nd down and 10. Hill pressure in the end zone.
Ball's out.
Ball is out. Recovered.
Let's go!
And it's going to be a safety. Jalen Petrie, Lenoy Jones Jr. They get to Kenny Hill.
Great scheme here by Phil Snow. You're going to see two guys off this edge create this issue. They overload blitz the right side as you're looking at it. Lenoy Jones gets home on Kenny Hill. Looks like they combine. And then Lucas Niang, big 6'7" tackle. No question about it. He recovers the ball, so that makes a safety instead of obviously Baylor getting on it for a touchdown. A dream start for Matt Rule in this rivalry game.
Cole Bunce will kick off. Arico Evans is back to receive. Evans back to the 14. Evans takes it back across the 40. That ball comes out.
Baylor's got the ball here. They've got to get something special here out of Charlie Brewer. Part of that is his ability to run the football. He's a lot more athletic than any of the other guys. Maybe it's some trick stuff against this Gary Patterson defense to get their offense going. And then conversely for TCU, between Banagoo and Gladney, their best sackmaster, and then Gladney had the Jeff Gladney, the pick 6 for 93 yards last week against Tech.
Brewer on 1st down to pass. He does, and he completes the pass to Blake Lynch for 6 yards. Blake Lynch, what a story he is. A guy who was a receiver, moved to defensive back because of the depth at wide receiver. All of a sudden, all the injuries at wide receiver, and he's back playing wide receiver.
Yeah, that tells the tale right there. You're so confident in your depth that you move a guy that you're counting on over to defense, and they've just had so many injuries at wideout. He's got a shallow here.
He's got it again. Here comes Lynch down the sideline. Lynch to the end zone. 54 yards for the touchdown. What a start for Baylor.
It's just your regular true freshman quarterback to the converted receiver DB back. He actually was looking to the left here for Atkinson there, and then watch him come into your picture. They got a little rub route with the backup tight end Ishmael Wainwright, and there's nothing left. Atkinson there picks him late with Denzel Mims. Gets the pick there at the end. Or not the pick, the block here at the end to Spring Lynch for a touchdown.
On now for the extra point is Connor Martin. And who had this in the early going? Baylor leading 9-0. A safety, 2 offensive plays later, a couple of passes to Blake Lynch.
In a minute and 34 seconds.
In a minute and 34 seconds, and Baylor's got 2 scores. It's the number 12 ranked team in the country, TCU, down early. In disbelief right now, telling his teammates, his team really, wake up, wake up. We know it's 11 a.m., but come on. Down 9-0, giving up a safety. And now a touchdown as Jay Sedgwick will kick off. Cavante Turpin back deep for the Horned Frogs. And they'll keep it low. Fielded at the 25-yard line and tackled at the 33. The reason why Gary Patterson is so fired up is because of this. There are 32 different scenarios that can play out for the Big 12 championship. TCU goes to the Big 12 championship in 28 of those scenarios. However, Iowa State can get there with a win at K-State plus losses by TCU, West Virginia, and either Oklahoma State, okay, or Texas.
Yeah, this is where, as a coach, just go back to that first thing. Win versus Baylor. Handle your business, and this is not the start that they wanted to make that happen.
On 1st down, the handoff to Kyle Hicks. You can hear from the Baylor sideline, get the ball out, get the ball out. Bravion Roy and Greg Roberts combined for the stop.
Sonny Cummey, the offensive coordinator from TCU, going fast here, trying to go fast, getting a little empty set.
Empty backfield. Pass complete to Dylan Thomas, and Thomas, they're just flying to the ball right now. Greg Roberts, Tayon Sells, 3rd and 8 coming up, no gain on the play.
Gary Patterson last night even told us he's considering changing up how they practice because of the slow starts. And this is even, raised to another level right now. Showing a 3-man rush here on 3rd and 8.
Hill stepping up. Hill's gonna try to run for it. And Hill gets tackled at the 39-yard line. So they forced the safety on the first series, and now a 3-and-out here on this one as Lenoy Jones Jr. makes the stop.
Lenoy Jones Jr. got him down. Ira Lewis, the big fella in the middle, 6'3", 290, got the little spin move just to make Kenny Hill think that he had to get out of there. Great stop by Phil Snow, defensive coordinator from Baylor.
Nunez to punt, fair catch, Tony Nicholson. Made at the 14-yard line, a 47-yard punt. Baylor leading 9-0 early. Charlie Brewer already with 1 touchdown pass on the day. What does he have in store when we come back here in the first quarter? Back here at Amon G. Carter Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas. Charlie Brewer, a true freshman quarterback. 70% completion percentage his last 4 games. Made 3 starts as Jermichael Hasty in the backfield with him. On first down, he'll hand the ball off to Hasty. And Hasty gets hit at the line of scrimmage by Chris Bradley.
And for Charlie Brewer, throwing that shallow route that turns into a home run, that's a big-time confidence builder. That feels like a post route to a true freshman quarterback.
Charlie Brewer out of Lake Travis High School. More passing yards and touchdowns than Baker Mayfield. 2nd and 10, pumps. He's going to run up the middle. Fumbles! Recovered by TCU, Nick Orr. And Orr gets tackled at the 25-yard line. And that's the turnover that TCU needed. Punched out by Matt Boson and recovered by Nick Orr.
Great scheme here by the Baylor offensive staff. He's going to pump both directions and then crease it right down the pipe and just take care of the football. Great effort by Boson to get back and strip the true freshman. And Orr tries to turn it into even a bigger play, but this sets up Kenny Hill, TCU offense in business on the 25-yard line. Watch for play action pass here, taking a shot.
Play action pass, caught. John Diarse, first down at the 11, a 17-yard completion.
Just a great little job by Diarse finding the void, and Kenny Hill riding it and fitting it right underneath the safety. Almost disaster, turned into a big game.
The handoff here to Kyle Hicks. And Hicks gets back to the line of scrimmage. James Lynch with the stop. 2nd down and 10 coming up from the 11.
TCU's been excellent in the red zone all year long.
Kenny Hill, who missed last week's game, was eager to get back out there. Rager in motion. They fake the handoff to him, give it to Hicks. Hicks makes a move, stays on his feet and get inside the 5, down to the 4. Tackle by Tayon Sells, a 7-yard run by Kyle Hicks.
Kyle Hicks loves playing against the Baylor Bears last year. 5 touchdowns. This time he smelled it. Great pad level. Love to see him put that ball away. That one
Hicks
might be coming
again.
out.
Hicks to the end zone. Touchdown. Flag on the play, though, in the end zone. Let's wait to see if this one stands for Hicks. It would be his 4th rushing touchdown of the year.
Illegal substitution. Defense. 12 men on the field. Our penalty is declined. Result of the play, touchdown.
Trying to substitute in the base defense for the nickel group. You can see the last guy right there just not off the field by the time they stand. There's the 12th and 13th guys And then Hicks doing a great job of feeling and then bouncing it to the edge and just outrunning the Baylor secondary.
Cole Bunce on for the extra point. And TCU responds after the fumble. The touchdown by Kyle Hicks. The Horned Frogs on the board. 2-point game here in the first quarter. It was Charlie Brewer that set up the great field position. It was his fumble that set up the great field position for TCU. They took advantage, converted. Kyle Hicks with a 4-yard touchdown run. And now Cole Bunce will kick off here for TCU. Rico Evans. Return it from a few yards deep in the end zone. Evans down the sideline, a good return out across the 30. Well, let's see how the true freshman responds after that fumble. He takes the handoff on first down, and Williams will get a couple of yards. Ross Blacklock there for the tackle.
Good patience by the Baylor coaches. You've got to establish some semblance of a run game to give Charlie Brewer a chance to get in something better than the 3rd and 9 and 3rd and 10, which have been the last 2 third down situations.
Brewer drops it off to Ebner. Ebner, and that's a good open field tackle made by Ridwan Ishahaku.
Ishahaku and the rest of the defensive, certainly the secondary and the linebackers, great pursuit that time. Setting up a 3rd and extra long here, another extra long situation for Charlie Brewer in this Baylor offense.
3rd and 15.
Watch Ross Blacklock, 90, the redshirt freshman inside there, comes in passing situations.
Brewer, incomplete for Ebner. Bradley applying some pressure. Rico Evans was there in the coverage on Ebner.
Baylor's gone to the well a few times on this shallow concept. Rico Evans matches it beautifully. That's one thing, Gary Patterson, another impressive thing about this defense. There's not a guy that plays for them on the back end. So that's the linebackers, all the secondary guys. There's not one guy over 4.5 in terms of a 40-yard dash speed. So Rico Evans can match that route every time.
Connor Martin punting it to Cavante Turpin. Turpin from the 23-yard line. A dangerous return man has a block, but there's a flag, a couple of flags. And this is probably coming back, a 48-yard punt. First and 10. Hicks, a reverse. Turpin with some room. Turpin tackled at the 40-yard line, an 18-yard run. Jordan Williams with the stop.
That's one of those ones where everybody held their breath, a bunch of people on their feet, and then they missed a block. And so a guy made a play, but a good job turning it back in by the corner up top.
Cavante Turpin, such a dangerous man in space, and they tried getting him the ball in space. It led to 18 yards. Hill, pocket collapsing, throws across the middle, completes the pass. Stewart marked out at the 17-yard line, a 23-yard completion.
Great rhythm and timing there by Kenny Hill. Found Stewart as the crosser. That's the difference here of a senior, very experienced guy, and the true freshman of Brewer, just the timing of that crossing route, keeping your guy on the move. First and goal.
Hill rolling out to his right, pressured, throws, incomplete. No flag intended for Cavante Turpin. Chris Miller there on the coverage.
Defensive coordinator Phil Snow is bringing the heat here. 6-man pressure, bringing the Sam and a Will. That's the strong side backer and the weak side backer off of each edge. That makes zero coverage, man-to-man coverage. You can see a great fit and matchup on the underneath route. Maybe had the flag route over the top for a touchdown. Kenny Hill was running for his life, though.
Miller, a good-looking player in the secondary for Baylor. Screen pass low, it's caught into the end zone for Jalen Rager. Touchdown.
That ball hit the ground.
Hang on, we've got the officials conferring.
Kenny Hill sees the edge up top. Another little run pass type option situation.
This play will be checked as well.
The pass hit the ground. It's an incompleted forward pass. It'll be 3rd and goal at the 7-yard line.
Dean, well done with the jacket today.
There's no way, I agree, Mike, there's no way Mike can pull off this jacket. He's the 3-piece guy. I'm more the progressive, trendy guy.
We all agree. And we agree with the call as well. So now it's 3rd and goal from the 7.
Gone with a ton of empty. They haven't done this as much as they have in the past. Baylor has liked to blitz this traditionally. They're playing zone right here.
Hill to the end zone, touchdown. Jerison Stewart in the back of the end zone. Reviews. That one will stick.
Great job by Kenny Hill and certainly the offensive staff of TCU. You're going to see the route develop right behind this linebacker. Just a little bait right there, and then the route comes in behind him. Great fit, great spot by Kenny Hill. No doubt about that one. It is confirmed. Touchdown. Things seem right here now in Fort Worth.
Cole Bunce. His extra point is good. TCU has its first lead of the game with 26 seconds to go here in the quarter. It all began with the reverse to Devontae Turpin, and then Harrison Stewart. A big completion down the sideline, and it was Stewart in the back of the end zone on 3rd and goal. 14-9, TCU on top. The Horned Frogs, 12th in the country, now lead Baylor 14-9 with 26 seconds to go in the opening quarter on this holiday weekend. Jerison Stewart with the touchdown catch. TCU 8 plays, 78 yards to take the lead. Cole Bunce will kick off. John Lovett is back deep. Lovett has to come up to field this one on the run from the 8. And Lovett gets hit before he gets to the 20. Gets hit by Sammy Douglas. 22 seconds to go here in this first quarter. Jamichael Hasty is back in at tailback for the Baylor Bears. They hand the ball off to Hasty. Hasty's got a hole. Hasty nearly slipped it. Ridwan Ishahaku with the tackle. A pickup of 11 for Hasty.
Michael Hasty is put together. He's 5'8". They list him at 200 pounds. He looks thicker than that. Low center of gravity, physical guy, breaks a lot of tackles.
Well, it is after Thanksgiving, so maybe he is a bit thicker.
No question. 210.
Blake Lynch had the touchdown. Blake Lynch with a stiff arm down the sideline. And Lynch will take it up to the 40, gets 10. And that's the way this first quarter will come to a close. An exciting first quarter of action here in the Revivalry between Baylor and number 12 TCU, and the Horned Frogs leading 14-9. Not all the students have gone home for the holiday weekend. 14-9. TCU leading Baylor as we get set to start the second quarter. Justin Kutcher alongside Mark Helfrich here on FS1. Charlie Brewer on first down from the 40. And the handoff goes nowhere for Jamichael Hasty, who's going to lose 2 yards on the play. Ross Blacklock, 6'4", 325-pound freshman from Missouri City, Texas, there for the tackle for the loss.
Yeah, he's a big-time player. Started 11 games so far this year, and that play is just shows how well coached this TCU defense is. Their whole defense is playing off the alignment of the tailback, and he's aligned where he is, actually where he is right now. He has a certain set of plays, and TCU's just dialed in to what they're doing.
On 2nd and 12, Brewer dumps it off to Hasty. Hasty makes a couple of moves and is able to get at least back to the line of scrimmage.
That's a great reaction by Charlie Brewer. Was under pressure, didn't have anything downfield. They're doing a great job matching the routes downfield and leaving it up to that 4-man rush, even a 3-man rush that's got pressure at times. In haste, he turned into a spectacular 1-yard gain.
So 3rd and long coming up once again for Baylor. You almost get the sense that the quarter coming to an end slowed down the offense.
Yeah, they had a little rhythm going there.
Brewer, high throw for Mims, incomplete.
All going back to a 4-man pass rush this time. Ben Banigou, watch him coming on the loop. He came all the way from the far side, and you can see the Baylor offensive line trying to switch that off too late, and the true freshman goes airborne from Ben Banigou. The hit of Ben Banigou, the legal hit of Ben Banigou.
Connor Martin on to punt. Cavante Turpin back at his own 20. That's good, high punt. Turpin has to make the fair catch inside the 10. A 53-yard punt by Connor Martin. Hill brings it back to Hicks for the screen. He's got room, and he gets tripped up. Davion Hill. Davion Hill goes for 26 yards on the screen.
Had 3 O-linemen out in front of that screen, and that one should have gone a long ways. That's one where the O-line coach is getting mad at the guy for not selling out. Usually you teach those guys to just run through the more athletic secondary guys or linebackers, whoever they're blocking. We'll take a look at that in a second. Cordell Iwagwu should have knocked that guy out for a home run.
Hill with time over the middle, completes another pass, this time to Ty Slanina. 17-yard completion.
They're bringing pressure up front. Well picked up by the TCU front. Kenny Hill stands in. A great finish by him and a good legal hit, keeping the head out of it, and a big-time shot.
Hill flushed out, goes back over the middle, and completes the pass, this time to Desmond White for 18. That's the 7th different receiver to make a catch so far for TCU.
Going fast. Kenny Hill feeling it right now.
Hill pumps once. Hill trying to get back to the line of scrimmage, and it looks like he's going to lose a yard. Bravion Roy and Brian Nance combined to bring him down.
Those last 2 plays were essentially the same thing. They shifted the tailback out for one and then aligned him out on another and sent 4 verticals with a bubble screen behind it. Kenny Hill was trying to take a shot. Baylor defended it well, got the spin move completion, and then the sack.
Shewu Olanalua is in for the first time in the backfield.
Unbalanced, probably going to be motion. This is Turpin down here.
Hand off to Olanalua. Olanalua breaks free. Touchdown, 32 yards. Seventh rushing touchdown of the year for Shewu Olanalua.
Great scheme. They're in an unbalanced alignment, and this defender's the only one left for Phil Snow and his defense. It's too easy for TCU. Olanalua with a lot of grass.
TCU trailed 9-0. They have now scored 21 unanswered. Shewu Olanalua, the big back, takes it 32 yards to the house. And TCU is taking control here in this one. The Horned Frogs got off to a rocky start, but since then, things are looking up. 3 touchdowns and a punt on their last 4 possessions. And that last drive went 91 yards. Cole bunts. And that's out of the end zone. So here, the 1-10 Baylor Bears are now trailing 21-9. Coach, they got off to a really good start, and now they had 54 yards on the touchdown. They've had 57 yards on their 17 other plays. Brewer on first down, flushed out of the pocket, dumps it off for Ebner. And Ebner still on his feet. And Treston Ebner gets 13.
Yeah, and what that's led to, which you brought up, is 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 11. And that's just unfair to the true freshman Charlie Brewer against this defense. Crafty conversion right there on that first down. Hopefully for them, get a little rhythm going.
Brewer pumps. Brewer now in trouble, and he goes down. Brewer gets sacked, a loss of 4. This time it's Ty Summers with the sack.
He was looking for Atkinson here. Does a little double move on the safety, a little nod, dig, and go. And Brewer just didn't have enough time and took the sack again. 2nd and 14.
Brewer to his tight end, Ish Wainwright, a former basketball player. Picks up 6. Ty Summers there on the tackle.
Ty Summers, after that first drive when he gave up the touchdown on his shallow route, has been outstanding, setting the edges in the secondary, not letting crossers either go behind him or in front of him. Doing a great job controlling a mainstay, a staple of this Baylor passing game.
The fans here know it's 3rd down. I love this stadium, Amon G. Carter Stadium.
Somebody block Bolson. Early Big 12 Player of the Week candidate.
Pressure coming. 3rd and 8. They dump it off to Ebner. He's got room. He can fly. There goes Ebner down the sideline. Touchdown. 58 yards.
Great job here by Charlie Brewer. Watch Bosin. He just ends up being a spy on Charlie Brewer, and he's going to sneak out late. Charlie Brewer looking downfield. It's 3rd and 100. Where's my back? Find him, and he's gone. Look at that green grass in front of him. Great effort by Bosin trying to get back in it. I bet they rush Bosin the rest of the day.
Connor Martin on for the extra point. 21-16. Baylor has a couple of touchdowns on the day. One of 54 yards. This one to Treston Ebner goes for 58. Baylor, who is 1-10 on the season, they are not going down here today without a fight against their rival. Charlie Brewer is in some impressive company. A true freshman, a 3rd quarterback. You know one of those guys on the list.
All coaching on that one, all coaching.
I thought it was recruiting.
A lot of 1st-round picks on there, too.
Jay Sedgwick to kick off. Jalen Rager on the return up the middle. And Rager tackled at the 27-yard line. But you mentioned it before, this TCU team has not allowed a second-half point in the last 5 games. So it's almost like baseball when you're facing a great bullpen, a lights-out bullpen. You need to get a stop right now for Baylor.
Got to play some small ball.
Yeah,
yep.
to
Bunt,
get some
move
points.
the runner. Yep, absolutely.
Hill over the middle, completes the pass to Stewart again. Jerrison Stewart has been busy today. Jordan Williams brings him down, but a pickup of 21.
Man, Jordan Williams in there, an injured Taylor Young, an injured Clay Johnson. That linebacker, that ball should have been picked.
Hill down the sideline, incomplete for John Diarse. For Kendrick Bonds on the coverage.
Good spot, good effort by Kenny. You'd love to give your guy a chance to go up and get that, but the right idea under a little bit of pressure there.
Jerrison Stewart, 4 catches, 69 yards today to lead receivers for TCU.
Big wind behind Kenny Hill right now that probably didn't turn that ball over as much as he would like. but will help them if they have to kick the field goal.
Quick pass is complete to Taj Williams. He gets 8.
Braylon Arnold, great attack, great, very physical corner. Not an overly big guy, 5'9", 185, but he brought it right there. Definitely in field goal range with this win.
3rd and 3. Baylor right now hoping to get a stop and force that field goal attempt. Hill, incomplete for Diarse. Was thrown into double coverage.
See what Gary Patterson's doing here. They're talking about field goal. Looks like they're going to do it. Kenny Hill, this is the second ball. He's thrown into a dangerous location on this drive. Diarse, a little one-armer there. You'd love to see that guy be a big body. Arnold and the Vaughns broke it up.
It's going to be a 45-yard field goal attempt by Cole Bunce.
Baylor does not have enough guys now. They ran 3 guys off, and now they're playing with 10, maybe even 9.
Bunce from 45. No good. So Baylor's defense comes up big. 2:41 to go. Trailing by 5 here in the second quarter.
Baylor playing with 10. It's their best defense of the day. Just misses it just wide right. Baylor definitely feeling it right now offensively. Again, they've been in rhythm here the last couple drives. Have done much better on first down. Charlie Brewer done a great job getting it to his checkdowns.
Brewer trying to throw the screen pass. Incomplete for Tony Nicholson.
Tony Nicholson, one of those many Baylor wide receivers battling injuries, has been in and out, hasn't been able to practice every day all year, and just a grounder there by Charlie Brewer. Sets up 2nd and 10.
Boson again. This time Brewer steps up over the middle, has a man, Mims, wide open. Mims was careless with that ball. Ty Summers almost stripped him, but it's a 23-yard completion.
Mo Porter very thankful that time for a little help from Patrick Lawrence. The left guard got it up, helped out on Matt Boson, allowed Charlie Brewer to step up and find a wide open conversion across the middle. Gary Patterson was not happy about that.
Brewer goes down again, this time by Ben Benagoo.
This is what makes these guys so good. You have 2 pass rushers that you have to account for. Now they're doubling to help Mo Porter. Now the right tackle getting beat by Banagoo. There's the double team to help on that side. There's the tackle isolated on the right side. That time is Josh Malin. No match for Banagoo.
5 sacks for the TCU defense. The dump off to Ebner again. And Ebner with a good run after the catch. Corey Bethley with a tackle, a 9-yard run.
Great job by Charlie Brewer, and it was a 9-yard one because it was a backward pass. Charlie Brewer got through his progression so quickly, kind of stepped up and created what turns into a pitch. Setting up 3rd and 3, probably 4-down territory.
To Ebner. Ebner short of the line to gain, and he gets hit by Sammy Douglas. And they do have the timeout remaining.
They're going to milk it down here, use their timeout late in this situation. If they would have got a first down, they would try to get some more plays going.
A 48-yard attempt for Connor Martin to make it a 3-point game, to make it a 2-point game. Into the wind from 48 is good. What a kick there by the sophomore. 21-19. Baylor will get the ball to start the second half. A fun first half of football here in Fort Worth. TCU with a win. They move on to the Big 12 title game against Oklahoma. Stay tuned for the State Farm halftime show after these messages. Back here in Fort Worth, Texas, getting set to start the third quarter, 21-19. Number 12 TCU leading the 1-10 Baylor Bears. Justin Kutcher alongside Mark Helfrich. And coach, this game has turned into a game thanks to the effort by the Bears in the first half.
No question, TCU defensively made so much of that. It's been a big play bonanza both ways. 5 sacks, 7 tackles for loss, 1 forced fumble, but then too many big plays if you're Gary Patterson in the secondary. Charlie Brewer, 14 of 19 for 250 and 2 touchdowns. Way too many big plays for Gary Patterson.
A look at the first half stats brought to you by Dave & Buster's. Here are the numbers. 271 total yards for the Bears. Brewer, 250 passing yards. And Baylor will start at the 25. On first down, Baylor will hand the ball off to Treston Ebner. And Ebner gets back to the line of scrimmage, and it's a 2-point deficit for Baylor, which you think is no big deal, but this is the problem. TCU has not allowed a point in the second half in its last 5 games. 5 games with 0 points in the second half.
Unbelievable. Just great halftime adjustments, great awareness, and started off. That kid right there, 10 yards deep, just made a play for a 2-yard loss.
Ebner, as they swing it out to him, gets back to the line of scrimmage. And Markel Simmons and Tejada with the tackle.
Sorry about that. Those 2 plays looked different right there. Unbelievable urgency by that Horned Frog defense, pursuing the ball. Multiple guys to the party.
So 3rd and 10 coming up. Again, a 3rd and long situation here for Baylor. They faced a bunch of those in the first half.
This is, yeah, they've averaged this situation right here. 3rd and 10, just awful for Charlie Brewer.
Brewer to the sideline, and that is picked off. Ty Summers has a sack, now has an interception.
Great job by Ty Summers getting underneath the route. Watch him come from the bottom of the top of your screen, getting underneath the route. Great eyes getting back to the quarterback. He knows exactly what the line to gain is, and watch the pressure that came to Charlie Brewer. Had to get that ball out. He's got to throw that ball away. They had it covered. Just can't finish the throw as Blacklock gets a big hand on him. Charlie Brewer, right after he threw it, was talking to the receivers. Somebody ran the wrong route that he didn't like, but he's got to sail that one. They had it covered.
Now remember, in the first half, Brewer had the fumble that led to the touchdown. Now an interception, and good starting field position here for TCU. Starting at the 33, it's Kyle Hicks on the handoff, and Hicks gets upended by Brian Nance, a loss of 1.
Phil Snow trying to initiate his guys, ignite his guys here in the second half, bringing 2 defenders off the top. Great run blitz. Sets up TCU in a 2nd and long situation.
Kenny Hill in the first half, 14 for 21, 170 yards with 1 touchdown.
Showing pressure again.
Hill stepping up to avoid the pressure, now going to run with it. And he's got the first down and much, much more as he scampers out of bounds at the 14-yard line, a 20-yard run.
Great reaction. This was the one that created the safety. It's Lenoy Jones off the edge. Kenny Hill smelled it this time. Great reaction. Good job protecting himself and getting out of bounds, not taking a shot.
So 1st and 10 now from the 14.
You just feel it right now. If TCU converts, turns this into points, that defense is going to respond off that great start to the second half. Touchdown.
Pass to Desmond White. White trying to stay on his feet. Touchdown! 14-yard touchdown pass to Desmond White. Points off turnovers.
Just a simple 3-on-2 situation. 3 offensive guys, 2 defenders. Des White, get the ball on the outside arm, make it easy. He cuts it back. Great spin move finish. Great job by Diarce, leading the way for him. Don't reach the ball. Don't reach the ball. But it's a touchdown.
Cole Bunce on for the extra point. (28-19). TCU now leading.
Gary Patterson's getting a sip of water. He'd like to second half start by his defense.
Ty Summers with a pick on 3rd down, set up a great starting field position, and then Desmond White was able to punch it in. 28-19 Horned Frogs. Desmond White on senior day gets his 4th touchdown of the season. It was all set up by the interception by Ty Summers. Cole Bunce kicking off to John Lovett, and this goes out of bounds from the 35. The pass complete to Tony Nicholson, and Nicholson gets 8 on 1st down.
Tony Nicholson, another guy in that receiving core that has been in and out. He's got some juice, he's got some burst. They just can't wait to get all these guys healthy to make it a fair fight against some of these teams they've faced.
Kept by Brewer. Brewer has the 1st down. Brewer racing. Brewer still on his feet, finally gets tripped up down near the 5-yard line by Sammy Douglas. A 51-yard run by Charlie Brewer.
Matt Boson is the read. He's going to come off. Charlie Brewer makes a great decision, pulls the ball right there off him, and they get vertical. Knife that seam right there, and then it's a foot race. Charlie Brewer does a little zigzag inside the 10.
1st and goal from the 6. Remember, no points in the last 5 games in the 2nd half. Hasty gets stuffed. Chris Bradley with a tackle.
Little inside zone action there for Baylor. George DeLeon, the offensive line coach, is getting after him on the sideline. He wasn't happy with that. Got to give TCU some credit. Submarine that whole thing again. Boson and the rest of the posse playing unbelievable red zone defense all year long.
Kyle Boyd is in as a fullback. That play clock is down to 8. Jermichael Hasty in as the tailback goes in motion. They hand off to him. Hasty tries to cut it back, and he's reaching forward to try to get to the 5-yard line. Sammy Douglas, who had the touchdown-saving tackle, makes the tackle here. 3rd and goal coming up.
I like the scheme. They haven't had a lot of success in the red zone, so they shifted Jermichael Hasty out, ran a little fly sweep with the tailback. You're trying to get your speed guy, your physical speed guy, the ball in space. TCU corrals him.
Denzel Mims, 6'3", 195-pound receiver. You've got Ish Wainwright, 6'5", 260 as a tight end. Do you try to put it up to one of those guys? Brewer to the end zone, incomplete to the back of the end zone for Jared Atkinson.
Matt Rhule's going to try to get some points here to break that schneid of 2nd half points. Charlie Brewer's just got to keep his feet on him. Watch him as he resets his feet. His weight just gets in front of his feet, and he can't finish this throw. He has the dig route there by Mims and just misses.
It will be a 23-yard field goal attempt by Connor Martin, who is 1 for 2, missed from 39, connected from 48. And that is good. So that snaps the shutout streak. Apparently, the closer is hittable. 28-22 here, just under 10 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. The impossible has happened. Points have been scored in the 2nd half against TCU. For the first time the last 6 games, it was a 23-yard field goal by Connor Martin. 6 plays, 59 yards. The big one, a 51-yard run by Charlie Brewer. It'll be Jay Sedgwick to kick off here for the Bears. Jalen Reagor is back deep for TCU. Reagor from the goal line. And Reagor runs into his own man. Otherwise, he could have gotten even more as he takes this one out to the 32. Hill will dump it off to his tailback. Olanolua breaks one tackle. Olanolua is still going. And he is down at the 47, a 24-yard run after the catch. Jamie Jacobs finally chased him down from behind.
Kenny Hill's been watching Charlie Brewer feed those backs. Great decision there, giving it to Olanolua in space. Jalen Petrie came off the edge and basically just got tackled by the right tackle. Matt Pryor probably got away with one there.
The pass complete to Jalen Austin.
Going back to that previous play, great job by Kenny Hill getting the ball out to Olanolua in space. Another missed tackle there by Lenoy Jones coming inside out. And then definitely has some baseball in his pedigree for sure. Kenny Hill on that last play basically turning 2 to get the quick screen outside.
Jalen Austin, the 9th different receiver to make a catch for TCU today. Handoff, Olanolua. And the big man gets the first down up to the 40.
Second and short there, Phil Snow, the defensive coordinator for Baylor, was expecting a shot. He played a 2-deep zone, allowed TCU to convert there. Olanolua, great changeup for this team with Hicks, 5'10", 210. Olanolua, 6'3", 235. He's a hammer. A big hammer.
We've only seen Kennedy Snell once. Hill. Heavy dose of Olanolua right now. Braylon Arnold gets credit for the tackle, but Olanolua goes for 10 again.
Yeah, Tayon Sells misses on the tackle. That's a big man in space with a head of steam. Kyle Hicks coming back in to spell him, get some water, and get back in there. Sonny Cubby, offensive coordinator for TCU, doing a nice job mixing up a lot of schemes with the screen game. Kenny Hill doing a great job executing right now in this drive.
Reagor down the sideline to the end zone, touchdown! 30 yards for Jalen Reagor.
Kenny Hill doing a great job again, scheme-wise. Great job by Sonny Cumby. Finding the ball to Reagor. Watch Slanina finish down there to give the touchdown block escort for Reagor as he breaks the tape at the goal line.
6th touchdown of the year for Jalen Reagor. His dad played 9 years in the NFL. His high school coach, John Kitna. And the extra point is good. His high school teammate was Kennedy Snell. And Jalen Reagor breaks the tape. And he gives his team some breathing room. 35-22 here in the 3rd quarter. Well, that drive was a lot of Shewo Olanolua, and then it was Jalen Reagor, a true freshman, with his 6th touchdown of the season. Cole Bunce will kick off here to John Lovett, as it's now a 13-point lead for TCU. It's now a 13-point lead for TCU. Baylor will start at their own 21-yard line.
Great job by TCU there in their drive. See if Baylor can respond to keep this thing close.
On first down, the handoff to Hasty. Hasty trying to get outside. And that's really good containment by Redwan Ishahaku, who gets 2 yards, does Hasty. Uh-oh. Oh, no. This is a rivalry game. Flags are on the fields, and this is getting ugly, and now players are leaving the bench from TCU, and this is not what you want if you're TCU.
Come on, fellas. Montrell Wilson, 19 from TCU, coming off the sideline without his helmet, coming from this side to that side. He'll be the first guy ejected in this fray. There were 2 guys right at the end of it. Come on, fellas.
There were fouls by both teams. Unsportsmanlike conduct. TCU bench, everybody on the field will get one unsportsmanlike. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Baylor. Everyone on that bench will get an unsportsmanlike.
Okay,
so yeah,
so that actually, that makes it a bit easier. Because now, if there's another unsportsmanlike by anybody.
First unsportsmanlike foul for the game.
Yes,
any further unsportsmanlike action will result in that player's ejection.
As Dan Romeo's pointing out, it's basically like a technical foul in basketball. The second tee, you're gone. I think there's some individuals that are going to be very lucky if that's all that happens. So here's Hasty again. You said Ishahaku did a great job. They're arguing immediately at the sideline. It's a late hit. There's Bradley, 56. Talking to the sideline. They respond. And then, right, that's where Bradley and then 91 comes in for the push. Blacklock came in for the push.
That was
He's
LJ
already on the
Collier,
sideline.
91, who came in for the push.
I'm surprised they're not going to take a look at this more.
Yeah.
And talk about, there's the shot by Blacklock that set it off.
They're showing the replay up on the video board here at the Carter.
Both guys, a lot of guys on both teams got very lucky they weren't ejected in this situation.
This pass is complete, and I want to correct something. It would only be targeting or fighting that would carry over to next week.
That's what I was. But I think there's some guys that are going to be subject to the league office as well by their actions. That the officials just simply, it's impossible to see it all. Hopefully we're back to ball.
3rd and 2 is coming up.
Third and 2.
Unfamiliar territory. Brewer forced out of the pocket. Incomplete for Atkinson. And this crowd now is certainly fired up.
Yeah, they're back into it. A lot of them took off at halftime, but they are back into it, reignited. Brewer took a shot right here at the tail end. Clean. LJ Collier with the shot. He had Atkinson for a big gain if he could have put that on target, which is very difficult with Bosin and Collier giving chase.
Connor Martin now to punt to Desmond White, back at his own 30. And he thought about maybe doing something instead of a kick. He gets rid of it, and this will be down at the 36.
They did a good job defending that edge right there. He was gonna run it for a first down. He took a peek and got rid of it.
Charlie Brewer has been great. 19 of 29 for 301 yards, 2 touchdowns, an interception.
Also had the fumble in there as well.
Yep.
He's looked like a true freshman. He's also looked like a true freshman that has a ton of potential. Not a lot of veterans that have thrown for 301 against this team. Screen.
Setting up the screen for Desmond White. White still on his feet, breaks 1 tackle and gets shoved out by Tayon Sells.
Yeah, And Sonny Cumbie, the offensive coordinator for TCU, doing a great job mixing this scheme. They've done this a few times. Get a little action going to the field, screen back behind it. Nice job. Good job by Des White. In space, Sells gets him out of bounds.
That screenplay goes for 29, and that will be the end of the third quarter with the score 35-22. TCU leading. FS1 college football presented by Dave & Buster's will return after these messages. 14-3, TCU outscored Baylor in the third quarter. Those 3 points, the first time that TCU has given up any points in the second half.
Fake reverse.
Hill with plenty of time, low throw, but it's complete to Ty Slanina. A 16-yard completion, first and goal coming up.
Kenny Hill reacted. He wanted this one back, just missed that as they're going fast here in the red zone.
Hill keeps it to the end zone, touchdown. 3-yard touchdown run for Kenny Hill here on Senior Day.
Nice execution by Kenny Hill in the zone read. He's just going to read this edge. Is there anybody there? He puts it in Kyle Hicks. Belly on the mesh. Sees the edge blitzer and jogs into the end zone. Great decision, execution there by Kenny Hill and the TCU offense.
Cole Bunce on for the extra point. A 20-point lead now for the Horned Frogs, trying to punch their ticket to the Big 12 title game for a rematch against Oklahoma. 42-22 TCU. Fourth quarter here at Amon G. Carter Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas. 42-22. The Horned Frogs leading the Baylor Bears. Kenny Hill on Senior Day, 22 of 30, 309 yards, 3 touchdowns, a rushing touchdown. Trying to punch the ticket to the Big 12 title game. Love it from the goal line. And he's going to regret that decision as he gets out to just the 10-yard line. New quarterback into the game here for Baylor. It is Zach Smith. Zach Smith sidelined with a sprained shoulder that opened the door for Charlie Brewer. We saw Charlie Brewer go down. Looked to be a shoulder injury of his own. Jared Atkinson with the catch for 6 yards.
Zach Smith can spin it. You wonder as a Baylor fan looking back on this season, if Zach Smith stays healthy with all the receivers staying healthy, could have been a much different story. He's got a strong arm, big time drop back passer. Brewer gives them more of the scrambling element, but the unfortunate theme for the quarterback today is pressure for that TCU front.
Another sack. It's Boson and Joseph Broadnax, and that now ties the season high with 7 sacks for TCU, which they did against Texas. And what this also does, let's talk big picture for Baylor, right? They played so many young guys this year, freshmen and sophomores. Because Charlie Brewer's gotten time as a true freshman, Zach Smith got that last single-digit jersey number.
Yeah.
Spring ball, fall camp, quarterback situation.
Certainly a battle. Absolutely.
Nearly the second interception of the game for Ty Summers. And a punt coming up here for Baylor.
On the back end, they finally bring the tailback in to help in protection. The one thing that does do is that limits the number of receivers in play for the quarterback. Ty Summers wants another one.
Connor Martin on to punt. And he'll be punting from his own end zone with Desmond White standing at his own 45-yard line. White, little mup. He's able to cover up. Had trouble getting through the big crowd of guys. And he is able to cover up just in time. On Black Friday, the Horned Frogs were in the black jerseys, and now the smiles are around because they lead by 20. I never knew that's what you're supposed to do with that kind of an instrument.
What is that kind of an instrument?
Clarinet.
All right, there we go.
Come on.
Little test.
Olanalua. A good run on first down, gets 8 yards.
By Jones.
Lanoy Jones Jr. with a tackle.
Great little start to the drive, 8-yard run. Inside zone, big gain for Olanalua. Baylor was in coverage there, expecting a play-action pass off the penalty.
Olanalua again. Spins forward, has the first down, up to the 14.
Just really good patience again by Olanalua. Pressing inside there, getting 235 square and vertical. Cut back. Sets up first and 10 inside the 15. They're working some clock here, taking their time here late on this drive.
Under 10 to go here in this fourth quarter. TCU looking for another 10-win season. Kept by Hill. Hill slips one tackle. Stiff arms another. The fans love it. And it's Chris Miller getting into it with Kenny Hill. A 5-yard run by Hill.
Great job on the initial read here as Olanalua is accounted for. Hill gets outside. Little stiff arm of Kedrick Vaughns is the thing that got the crowd into it. Chris Miller, I'm surprised he didn't get a penalty there. Just have the officials set the tone. That little finishing left arm of Kenny Hill, that should have been thrown. The officials got to take control of that situation right there.
Everybody on both teams already has an unsportsmanlike. After the brawl earlier. Hill, lofting one, Diaz. Incomplete. Graylin Arnold there on the coverage. So this is one thing that drives me nuts. Graylin Arnold, good coverage, right? You're down by 20.
Exactly. Yeah, he's right in his hip pocket. Kenny Hill has been spectacular. He just threw that one out of bounds. And again,
there should be no finger wagging.
Right. Yeah. 20-point lead should not have a finger.
And that's not exclusive. That's not exclusive to anybody on Baylor. That's for everybody.
Yeah.
3rd and 5. Caught by the tight end Cole Hunt.
Little rub route.
And he's going to be just shy of that first down marker.
Wouldn't be surprised if my man Olanalua is the target on this next one. Now they are not going to go for it. They're going to kick it. They initially looked like they were going to go for it. But great scheme there again by Sonny Cumbie and the offensive staff. Gave him a little rub route. If he could have kept him a little bit more to the sideline, he didn't have to come back to the ball. Sets up the 4th and 1.
Bunts missed from 45. This is from 23. And this is good. 45-22. The Horned Frogs looking to play at AT&T Stadium next week against Oklahoma. 17 straight points scored by the Horned Frogs since Baylor closed it to 28-22. And TCU, they can celebrate here at the Carter. Cole Bunts to kick off to John Lovett. And Lovett will not get a chance to return. Charlie Brewer came back out of the locker room without the jersey. The injuries just continue for this Baylor Bears team. I mean, here in the final game your true freshman quarterback, he goes down.
A joke at some point how many guys were banged up, and that's tough to develop your team when you have, as we throw a pick, it's hard for the quarterbacks to develop chemistry when guys are in and out.
The interception by Markel Simmons picks off Zach Smith, and that's the 3rd turnover of the game by the Baylor Bears.
Guy that's been battling all year, little jersey grab there, a little pull. 2 guys stop on the route. Lynch and Mims in the same area. Zach Smith definitely throwing to Mims, but again, there's a guy that Lynch has moved from receiver to DB back to receiver. Chemistry right there as well. But what I started to say there, that when you don't have, they basically went without the season, about 7 receivers down. So that means every scout team guy now isn't a receiver. That hurts your defense, that hurts your special teams, and it just wears on you.
Kennedy Snell is in the backfield. And he went down. Today's game produced, as it has been all season, by Eric Billigmeyer.
Hey, let's take a look here, right? Sorry to interrupt you. Little curtain call here for Kenny Hill.
Oh, yes, you're right. Grayson Muhlstein will come in, but a standing ovation for Kenny Hill. Grayson Muhlstein, the junior. Hands off to Snell. So as we were saying, Eric Billigmeyer is our producer. Renardo Lowe, our director. The associate director, Sharad Devasker. The broadcast associate, who has filled in so well this year for Justin Tolbert, is Mark Samter and Wyatt Kalb. The technical producer, Mark Alsmeyer. The technical director, Michael Lang. Our spotter in the booth, couldn't do it without him, Ken Trevor. And our statistician here up here in the booth, thank you so much to Scott Lightman. 1 minute to go here in this one. And by the way, folks, it's not the last you'll see of Mark Helfrich on TV. He'll be in studio tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Studio debut.
He just hasn't had enough FaceTime this year.
There must be some kind of mistake. Need some more Matt Rule FaceTime. He'll have some better faces in the future. That's a face of a guy who's 1-11, knows he's got to go out and recruit some dudes, get them bought in, and he'll get them rolling. But flip it over to Gary Patterson. Congratulations, another great season. Another good season at this point. He wants to turn it into another great season against OU next week.
The 11th 10-win season under Gary Patterson in his 17 years as a head coach. Prior to him, there were 4 10-win seasons in the history at TCU. There's a reason why there's a statue here for Gary Patterson. Unbelievable. TCU will be going over to Arlington to take on Oklahoma in the Big 12 championship game. A turnover on downs with 12 seconds to go. Coverage of the Big 12 title game will start at 12 Eastern on Fox.
Matt Bosa needs to go take a nap. He's been running a lot today.
That will do it. Congratulations to the Horned Frogs of TCU, as they will finish the regular season at 10-2, 7-2 in Big 12 play, following a 6-7 season last year. The Baylor Bears will fall to 1-11, 1-8 in the first year under Matt Rule, but good things to come for Baylor.
No question. I guarantee that's what Gary Patterson's saying in his ear right now is he's telling him, I guarantee, hey, you came out and you outplayed us right at the beginning. You out-efforted us, which Gary Patterson never wants to admit. And also at the same time, telling exactly what you said. Your best days are yet to come, and I'm sure there were a couple things in there, but hey, I'm embarrassed about how that one situation marred an otherwise great rivalry game.
Well, the final score here is 45-22. Coach, it's been a blast. I'm Justin Kutcher saying so long from Fort Worth. Final score 45-22. After this break, we'll take it to Rob Stone and the guys in Ann Arbor for more college football coverage.